are doing now. Now, see, you already know what it is and how I feel about this guy Ranton right here. I just think he's the coolest. You know, he's funny as hell. Okay, he's really really funny, and that's why I'd be watching his videos. But the thing is, his videos are so meme worthy that I can't just watch it alone. You gotta watch it, and it'll show you my appreciation to the man and his art, and the important things he brings to this YouTube world that we all live in. Right, this big community, and how like all of his videos are guaranteed meme quality is like top tier meme quality. It's amazing. You can't watch one of his videos without laughing. Okay, it's gonna happen, right? Especially like his like review videos. It usually happens more, right? He's reviewing Sifu this time, which I was like really, I was really what do you call it? I was really curious about that. What would he think about it, right? Because he's an actual Shaolin guy, right? Or he was. I think he left the temple, right? So he's no longer, but he was. But he knows the shit. That's basically what I'm trying to say, right? So 3, 2, 1.
I'm the meat chef.
Bruh. What the fuck is going on, man? What am I watching right now?
Bruh. Oh my god! Mashallah, it's review time, so don't stop you.
I don't know what's going on.
Before we even continue here, one thing up front. This game should be called Shifu, not Sifu. Sifu, Cantonese, Shifu, Mandarin. Reason number 1.
Right, Master Shifu, right?
The official live action trailer.
My face.
They speak crystal clear Putonghua, Mandarin, and in Putonghua it is called Shifu. Hear that? Not Cantonese. Reason 2. In the game itself, they say certain words like they pronounce it in Putonghua. Reason 3. The martial art in this game is called Pak Mai Nuts. This is a southern style where people speak Cantonese, not Mandarin, and therefore pronounce it Sifu. That ruins my argument. Fuck. Reason 4. The now added Chinese voiceover is in Mandarin. Reason 5. Compare this. 十里平湖霜满天，寸寸情似球花年。To this. Mandarin is so 漂亮, okay? And if you disagree,
I don't have enough time to say anything, bro. You just spoke Arabic for some reason, bro. What the fuck is going on?
Get that Cantonese cringe the fuck out of here and leave that for the Wing Chun manlets because they spend all fucking day talking about the. See, I'm exaggerating a susma bit. Sifu didn't have to be in Mandarin, but the game really struggles with consistency is my point. Why is it not all in Cantonese if the style it's based on is associated with that area? Why are some of the ancient amulets in the game written in simplified Chinese, not traditional?
Stop it.
I don't know if it was a lack of vision or different forces pulling the game in different directions. Ultimately, the uninitiated won't care.
But we are initiated.
So a lot of people are asking me for my thoughts on the combat, but the problem is, like I briefly mentioned before, Pak Mei, southern style, whereas the styles that are taught at Shaolin and the ones that I was taught are mostly northern style. Let me explain very briefly what differentiates them. Southern styles, Nanchen, have a heavy focus on arms. It's like, the stances are higher, the arm movements are faster and more direct. What is the most famous southern style? That's right, Wing Chun, aka how to rape 10 Japanese. Most of the styles that are practiced at Shaolin are northern styles though. This means low stances, yeah? Mabu, nice and low. That's why the splits are a basic requirement for Kung Fu. We do more kicks, jumps, and leg-focused exercises. By the way, please check out my channel with the Come closer, please. Moreover, and I have to do this, even though Pak Mei teachers talk a lot about real fighting and its use in combat situations.
Most of Kung Fu we see it is like what Jetty is doing. No one fight like this in real life. It's amazing, but this is not authentic.
You think real fights look like this?
Bruh.
Please don't kid yourself. Nee, if you want to learn how to fight, yeah? You have to learn kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, judo, that kind of shit. Realitätscheck. You have to know how to protect yourself on the ground and how to throw a proper punch. Okay? There's no replacement for sparring. Everything else is supplementary. Whether that's Aikido,
Okay.
like Aikido, like
Was war das?
they take the arm and they go.
Nee.
Yes,
Ich
yes.
fucking Tanla, was du machst.
No, they take a person's arm and they go like hop, hop, and the person die. No fights in the real world happen like these highly isolated self-defense routines that Pak Mei and many other martial arts use to demonstrate their effect.
That's bullshit right there.
No, the other arm. My other arm. That kind of shit. No, slowly. It looks very cool, and if it inspires other people, you know, to get into the martial arts world, good, super, great. But please remember, real fights don't look like Jackie Chan choreos, and they don't look like the fights in Sifu. That doesn't mean that you can't enjoy them for what they are. Jackie Chan is a god, and Shifu is a damn fine game. So let's get into it. Okay, let's first talk about presentation. The art style is precise. This table, love it. I struggled for a while to find the right words to describe Shifu's art style, and now I got it. The game was designed by a surgeon. Speaking of surgery, I got this one. I fucking up. Everything is so meticulously well put together. It's clean, like mine. Nothing is left to chance or untouched, like your mom's arse. There's nothing missing or anything to be added. The world looks so goddamn fascinating, creative, creative, and so full of references to beloved cultural moments from martial arts cosmos, like the old boy hallway fight, the ghetto that reminds me of the rain, the club gives me John Wick vibes, the tower is seemingly made of gold. My Fresse ist Versace. Das ist eine geile Line von dem Song.
Du Hure.
How does it go? Ich fick dein gespieltes Video und dein Privatjet. Hab zwei Optionen, dass mich die Bitch oder der Kommissar weckt. Something like that.
Ja.
Don't you forget it. It always starts out grounded, what you can relate to. But then, sometimes Shifu straight up delves into the absurd, yeah? Abstract. Grotesque. Unshackling itself from its earthly tethers. Overcoming the need for textures or detail. Like the great Guru Lachima always said, if you base your expectations only on what you can see, you blind yourself to the possibilities of a new reality. Now speaking of action. This is what was going to make or break Shifu. The combat. Le combat. Oh, I'm here to tell you. They nailed it. Is it defensive like Sekiro? Is it offensive? Like, no, it's a new thing. I don't want to explain the entire system here because it is complex. You just have to try, okay? It's such a dynamic system. The form meter, their finishers, unparryable attacks, directional dodges, counters, throws, weapons, etc. The learning curve in Shifu is insane. If I look at my gameplay from right now versus from when I started, it's like I'm playing two separate games. How all these different mechanics tie into each other. That is the beauty of Shifu. It creates a flow that is unlike anything that we have ever seen. No kissy, man. This is also how you upgrade your character, because you really don't. Your character gets better because you get better.
That's awesome.
Like my master always said, more practice. Any new moves you learn don't really make you better. In fact, they might even throw you off your game because you're gonna desperately try to use them and incorporate them into your flow. And it takes a whole nother level of meta skill to understand which skills are worth buying and which are absolute gauche. And this might also be where some people could get disappointed. If you expected a classic roguelike, where you get permanent upgrades to make shit easier, Shifu isn't really going to give that to you. The game treats you like I treat my toilet. It is, sure, you have the shrines, but honestly, I never found them to make that big of a difference. In Shifu, you get good by playing it and nothing else, because the combat is flawless and the love for Kung Fu is tangible. Some people are asking me about the story. How's the story? Sorry, it's simple, sometimes naive. The messaging is good, there are two endings with some stuff you gotta figure out, but it's really just a vehicle to drive forward what Shifu really wants you to do. I will beat the shit out of you and have fun doing so. In a way, it's like a Jackie Chan movie. Dumbass story, nobody cares, outstanding fight scenes. Now to close this off, we have to get into a bit more complicated territory. Because the critiques I have of this game are ambiguous, kind of. You know, Shifu has no flaws or things that don't work properly. I have 100% in the game now, about 30 hours played, which is substantial. At this point, you have to understand that right now, there is literally nothing else for me to do. Nothing. What does that mean? Well, a lot of roguelikes, since they're based on trial and error, incentivize or give you the option of approaching situations in different ways, usually through a diversity of gameplay mechanics. Try the stealthy approach, try the aggressive approach, try a different weapon, try a different upgrade, try a different skill, try a different path. This shit don't exist here. There's only one way to play it. Fighting people and different paths only exist in the form of shortcuts to the boss. Like in Enter the Gungeon, you can keep playing and playing even once you finish it because you choose different guns. Hades, but don't choose a different weapon, changes up the game. Dead Cells, use different weapons. You can play again. Curse of the Dead Gods, one of the best indie games, 9 out of 10 by the way. Choose a different weapon, it's a different game. Shifu doesn't really have that. So the replayability is high until you get to the last boss, but then also really not. Does anyone get what I'm saying here? Because I don't. I have defeated the last boss at age 20. Now I'm done, but I don't want to be done. I want to play more of it, man, but I can't. This goes to the devs. Add a challenge mode, a boss rush mode, arena mode, which I heard they're adding on the roadmap. Shout out to the family. Anything, just make the game last longer. That is the paradox of Shifu. It's a very complete package, but also not complete. The depth of the gameplay could have carried the weight of a much bigger and longer campaign. Another factor that I think Shifu could have needed to reach that masterpiece level is, you know, more diverse fighting styles. Because everyone kind of fights the same way. Sure, there's some variations. Some people, you know, the big ones, they grab. Some people kick more. But generally, it's kind of all the same. You remember enemies by the way they look and the way they're presented, not by the way they fight. And Chinese Kung Fu has so many styles. There's so much in Chinese Kung Fu. I know, limitations, indie studio, but oh god, I wish there was more in it, you know, more juice. How about some drunken master, animal forms, northern styles? None of that is here, and that's unfortunate. But speaking of diversity, visual enemy diversity is insane. I don't know how they did it. I feel like I never fought the same looking enemy twice. Fucking awesome. Okay, there's one last point of critique, and I just kept it in the script because I'm not 100% sure about this one, but I just have to kind of mention it, and then you can tell me how wrong I am. Sometimes I felt like the complexity of Shifu's aging mechanic and how you sort of time travel back and what type of upgrades are carried over and which ones aren't was how to say it?
Was that Beijing?
What's up,
to its
Beijing?
detriment. Can you say it like this? It wasn't necessary to make it this weird and complex. And I think figuring out how it actually worked was more of a nuisance than it was fun to me. When you go back to an old level, what is carried over? Like, I don't, maybe someone knows what I'm saying here. I don't quite know how to formulate it. I just think the game is too complex than it needs to be. And it's kind of annoying to figure out the game, how it functions, the aging mechanic and what's carried. Fuck it. Okay, time for the final rating. Let's go.
7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Nice.
Hi.
Oh god. Sifu, il déchire grave, cousin. Et fonctionner comme ça, le succès suivra. My final rating is a very good 8 out of 10. Also, of course, never trust people who use review copies. Catch y'all on the flippity flop. Rantoni out. Tschüss!
How do I find that? His outro song. What is that? That sounds awesome. I think it's. Oh, Shang Tsung, look, he's gonna write Elden Ring. Makes sense. Everyone's going nuts about Elden Ring. I guess it makes sense. Yeah, but how do I find his that was GTA San Andreas theme song, right? Totally was. Yeah, 100%. How do I find that? Anyways, that was Shifu. So do we call it Shifu now? I'm like, that's what I felt, right? When I was saying Sifu, I'm like, it feels a little off. You know, I'm so used to saying Shifu, like Master Shifu, Kung Fu Panda. You know. So do I call it Shifu or do I call it Sifu? What do I do? Shifu? Shifu? I'll just call it Shifu just for the fuck of it, right? Same thing with, like, you know, Jiang Jung in For Honor. He has a Shifu pose, right? Shifu stance. So I guess we'll just call it Shifu now. So yeah, man, this guy Ranton, he's gotta chill, bro, because too much shit be happening. I don't even have time to call it out, right? He says one shit, and he moves on to the next one. I'm already laughing my ass off on the previous one. I don't have time to register and address that, and he's already doing another bullshit. I'm laughing on that. So you know, it's fun though. You know, his videos are fun, and he put a lot of time and effort, and it's nice. You know, it's really funny. Yeah, bro, but you already know what it is. That was it, buddy. That was it. That was the video. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.